Hello, everybody. Hello and welcome. This is part two of healthy guts, healthy hormones. Because as I start working on gut issues, I realized that hormones are impacted, and then hormones impact guts, guts impact hormone, and those two things can just create all sorts of issues throughout your body. So to begin with, I'm just going to say hello to you all, connect with you, and clear the space of this session. And just ask that everything that's in alignment with the highest and best come into this space. Okay, yeah, I almost use the terms Dantian and microbiome interchangeably, except that in Chinese medicine, what's called a Dantian, kind of almost like your second chakra energy, your stomach, and the Chinese believe that's like everything. I mean, that's why everywhere you go, there's a Chinese restaurant because we think food is everything. And I don't think we will be staying in the moon too soon because there's no Chinese restaurants in the moon yet or Mars, so there's no travel there yet. But I mean that it comes down to everything. Everything comes through the stomach, which is true because that's the part of you. The whole digestive tract absorbs um, whatever is required for your health, and so it's separated into three parts, and each part has both a psycho spiritual component as well as an energetic component and an actual location, right? The upper dantian is up here, the third eyes, the throat chakra, your connection to spirit, to your higher self. And we know that physically, there's the brain microbiome gut axis, and that's what it speaks to, the brain microbiome gut axis. It speaks to the upper part of the dantian. The mid dantian is related to universal energy, and that always means love because it's expansive energy that contributes to life. And I guess the Chinese don't romanticize everything and call it love. It's just called universal energy. It's energy that feeds everyone and that expands your reality, expands your well being. And we always need that energy, that chi. Uh, and being in love has nothing to do with it, thankfully, thank God. And then the lower dantian is the kidneys, which house what the Chinese call yuan qi, your original DNA. And we also know that now science says epigenetics affects our DNA, right? How we take care of ourselves, what we eat, and so on and so forth. So the correlation between the findings of the microbiome and the dantian very much relate to each other. They're not exact, of course, because one was created over 2,000 years ago, and it had 2,000 years to self correct and so on and so forth. The research on the microbiome is fascinating. And if you go into a health food store, even if you just go into a supermarket, you will see that there's a probiotic for everything. Probiotic for concentration, focus, probiotic for better immune system, probiotic for better memory, probiotic for healthy weight and metabolism, probiotic for healthy of course, healthy guts. That's the whole thing. So, so you can see how all the um, characteristics that was attributed to what the Chinese call dantian is highly correlated to all the findings around the microbiome. And the microbiome is actually not just the guts. We have bacteria from our head down to our toe. So microbiome is actually whole body. And some parts of the body where you have hair, for example, have more concentrated microbiome because that's where your body needs to do more cleanup work, right? Like our armpit and our private area, pelvic area, private area, you know, that's also a very important microbiome. So I hope that explains kind of the relationship between dantian and microbiome. And as I'm speaking, I was picking up on what your body and what your dantian is looking for that would allow you to feel healthy. So I'm just going to tune into all aspects of your microbiome and microbiome. So microbiome is the more general term. Microbiome, like MYCO, that is fungus. And that only makes up 1% of the microbiome, but that 1% makes the other 99% possible because that 1% really helps you to get rid of things, detoxing. So some of you may have a good microbiome, MICRO, but you may need to up level your microbiome, MYCO. Again, fungus helps get rid of things. So let's bring just those two into balance, the bacteria culture as well as the fungal culture. Bring that into the natural balance. So it should be 99 to 1. Oh, good. And now when I eat, like I always try to have some kind of mushroom in my food, at least once a day, any kind, whether shiitake mushroom, oyster mushroom, portobello, and the small little bellas. And if you live in the Pacific Northwest, where I used to live, there's all kinds of good mushrooms. So wherever you are, get the good kind for you. So let's bring the gut microbiome and brain axes together. That axis requires about 8 metabolic hormones. So when the guts are working right, it supports at least 8 metabolic hormones and neurotransmitters and all that. So let's bring that energy in. So, however, you need to rebalance your microbiome and microbiome so that the gut brain axis would work for you. Oh. And that promotes clear thinking, focus. Oh. So I'm just aligning the gut, microbiome, microbiome, and brain access. Align that with the highest flow of energy that's in the highest integrity with your body and your energy system. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. Good, good. Oh, oh, oh. Good. So all the neurotransmitters that your brain is asking for, let's bring that. Let's have the microbiome that supports that. Oh. And again, the upper dantian's pineal pituitary gland, and the very important hormone there, of course, is human growth hormone that's necessary for repair, replenish your supply of energy, rejuvenate, regenerate. So maybe it's worth it to stay in this energy for a little longer to connect this brain gut microbiome access, and especially to promote and support your body to create human growth hormone. And you kind of need enough human growth hormone for everything else to happen, right? So let's stay here for a moment to make sure. Oh, oh. And it may take a moment for some of you, some communicating with all the gut bacteria, your microbiome, to let it know to support human growth hormone. Excellent. Human growth hormone. Excellent, excellent. Good, good, good. Oh. So as I'm tuning into the gut microbiome, brain access, some of you have some issues around your heart, excuse me, and stomach and third chakra around deserving, whether you deserve to have so much energy, so much ease, so much that, blah, blah, blah. So all the hidden set points that keep you and your body from creating the right amount of hormones for you to enjoy a super good life. Let's clear all those hidden set points. And I'm hearing, that's odd, I'm hearing survival guilt or survivor's guilt. So some of you may have actually come from families. Well, we all come from families that have been through war and famine and so on and so forth. But there's also a lot of things going on right now that trigger people. Other lies about how severe this epidemic is and how many people are dying. When that field of energy touches you, sometimes it touches this residual feeling that when so many people are suffering, you should keep your head down, keep your head low, and all that. So, however The pandemic is affecting your energy and triggering those old set points. Let's clear that for everyone. And I think evolutionarily, we are all really kind and thoughtful people. And I know that as women, we think about, and men too, men think about this too, maybe. We think about the whole tribe and where the energy is going or not. Because a woman's body, your energy, you have to have enough energy, not only for yourself, but for your children and for your family and for your parents, right? I mean, men supposedly take care of that in the outer world, but energetically, in everyday life, we have to manage our energy in such a way that there's enough for you, for the children, for your grandparents, for your parents, and so on and so forth. So when you're tapping into a field of energy where there's a lot of suffering, then you make changes in your own energy subconsciously to be uh, in alignment with everybody else's. It's very rare for a person to be like, I'm going to have an extraordinary amount of energy and joy in the midst of suffering, right? It's something that we subconsciously do. And so I'm feeling for those of you who have been extremely tired in the last 3-4 months, your energy is being pulled down to match that of the mass consciousness. And you know what's going on in the mass consciousness. So let me just take that out of your energy field so that you can receive this energy better. So all lifetimes of having to do that, all lifetimes of having to manage your own energy in such a way so that there's enough for the whole tribe, there's enough food distribution for the whole tribe, and so on and so forth. And it's not a bad thing at all. It's very kind and compassionate. But what happens is you end up sacrificing your energy and your health. So sacrificing for the whole, whether it's your whole family or the whole tribe or the whole world, whichever amount of distortion in your energy field, let's clear that. So the impact that this pandemic has on you, that is distorting and weakening your energy field. Let's take out that whole energy field. So we're gonna disconnect your body from the energy field of the pandemic. And any guilt feelings that are triggered about doing that. And all lifetimes of guilt. Yeah. And anywhere in your life where you are actually using any kind of addiction as a way to self-regulate all the discomfort from feeling guilty, from being triggered, having survival anxieties, and so on and so forth. So all the ways the stress of the pandemic is triggering you to do something that we normally call an addiction. An addiction is a way to self-regulate what you feel is just way too much for you. So what if we can release that, and then the guilt behind that. Release all those triggers and gently let them go, and it's not your fault. Any and all triggers that create you to self-regulate by overeating or coffee or however you do trauma, however you self-regulate as a way to clear traumas, any traumas. Financial, I know many people are dealing with financial traumas in so many ways. So again, don't blame yourself, because once an addictive behavior begins, it changes your hormones, changes how you feel about yourself, changes everything. So we're going to connect with a microbiome that's healthy and free of those triggers, that's free of all those addictions and all those needs from our lifetimes to self-regulate any trauma, unresolved trauma, hidden trauma, subconscious trauma, family trauma, unhealed trauma in the family system that's in the DNA, so that's in your lower dantian, that's cleared from there. And then the trauma of getting diagnosed with either a chronic condition or an acute condition. So the changes to your blood pressure, cholesterol, and so many things that actually are response to all the triggers in the external world that's really hyped up extensively right now. So disengage from that field of energy. So now we're going to realign all parts of the dantian, upper, middle, and lower, with the highest flow of universal energy, compassionate energy that's totally neutral and free of old memories, old triggers. So now I'm going to check back to what we started. What started all this was the pineal and pituitary gland and human growth hormone. Many of you have hidden set points to how much you can receive. And now receive with total ease. And allow your body to be in a deep restoration mode. When you're in a restoration mode, you're no longer in that war zone. Your body's no longer fight or flight in the war zone that this pandemic has triggered in so many people. So it's safe for you to receive enough human growth hormone for your body to restore, regenerate, rejuvenate all cells, all tissue, all organs and organ systems. Oh. Oh. Yeah, so let's gently come into being able to hold that energy for yourself despite what's going on, being able to hold that pattern of energy of restoration, rejuvenation, regeneration, because you're able to hold that now. Moving forward, so connecting to all timelines, where that is easy for you to do, for your body to access restorative energy, rejuvenative energy, regenerative energy. Oh, on all levels. And any and all old timelines that are still bleeding into this one, keeping you from being able to access regenerative, restorative, rejuvenative energy. We're going to clear those old time bleeds from all timelines. Oh. Oh. And how to put problem people in a different parallel universe altogether. That would be the winning combo. Activate rejuvenative, restorative, regenerative energy, but put all the problem people in a parallel universe so that you can heal. I'm with you there. I know I'm not supposed to create any separation, but what the hell? I know you want to be separated from problem people. No oneness with them. No. You overdo that already. No overdoing this oneness with all things. No, not oneness with problem people. No. Let's problem people go into a different parallel universe. That solves a whole lot of problem. I know it. Well, energetically, we can still coexist with problem people. And energetically, when you're around them, put yourself in a bubble of light, put them in a bubble of light also, so that, and make sure that those two bubbles don't really mingle. So that's okay to do because when you put light around them, you're not hurting them, you're not hurting yourself. And a lot of what I call problem people, as you've seen lately, and I'm not going to bring up that event that triggers the whole world right now, but there's a lot of people with unresolved subconscious issues that are coming up, and they're in breaking point. No matter where they are, no matter how much money, no matter how much fame and fortune. So the subconscious issues that create people to be at a breaking point are very real. You have seen that. So putting them in a bubble of light allow those subconscious triggers to come up and know that it's what's unresolved that's asking for healing in so many ways. So what if we can all hold a safe space for that for everyone, right? And it's okay to know who triggers you, what triggers you, because that's bringing consciousness to the equation. And when you're conscious of it, you cannot be a victim. When you're conscious of the fact that other people have subconscious triggers and their subconscious triggers have nothing to do with you, when you're conscious of that, then no matter what the actions are, it cannot hurt you when you're conscious of it, right? So it's good to be conscious of what a problem person is for you, what they trigger in you, what's unhealed and unresolved, and just bring love and light to the healing. And it doesn't mean that you're going to just love them or whatever, because, I mean, don't create codependent relationships, but just know how you can separate yourself. You literally can put yourself in a different parallel universe when you're around that so that you're not as easily triggered. So it's a practical thing to do. And to do that, you put yourself in a different field of energy and ask that you be surrounded by the highest light and that they be surrounded by light too. Okay, so I think today's healing problem people, they just ruin it all. Okay, no. But yeah, I think everybody's just coming into this space where we're like, this is good for today. You know, just knowing how to take care of yourself in a world that is going a little crazy, and know that you taking care of you is good. Yeah, you can control other people's subconscious things because they can't even control it. It's so subconscious they can't even they have not yet worked enough on it to be there. But you're all in a safe space where you can do that. And now you can allow all that restorative, regenerative energy to work for you and not be hijacked by others, right? That's huge. Not let your own energy be hijacked by that field of energy called a pandemic or and whatever else associated with it, so that it won't trigger you to self-regulate through addictions and through illness, right? Because sometimes illness is a way to self-regulate. It's sometimes a symptoms, it's sometimes not a symptoms, it's sometimes a way to self-regulate lots of unresolved issues. So any and all amounts of subconscious stuff that you can now make conscious and let go, let's do that. And again, I'm going to align your dantian, upper, middle, and lower dantian in that space of safety and joy and wholeness, and aligning your energy field with the highest flow of healing, loving, transformational energy. Good, 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 good. So bless, bless, bless.